Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome back to the Heed Army podcast. We hope you've had a lovely summer. It's been a long one, hasn't it? With waiting to find out what's going to happen with the club, players, etc. But we'll get all into that. But at the minute, everything's quite rosy, and we've had pre-season. It's already started, a 7-1 win away to Hebburn on Tuesday night. Were you there? Please let us know if you were. How are things? We've got loads of people sending their messages. Loads of people already joined us. So thank you very much. It seems like you've missed us. We've missed you. And I've missed this man as well, even though I speak to him every day. It's Mickey. Hello.
Good evening, David. How are you?
I'm all right. As you can see, probably people will notice I have dyed my hair. I went blonde, then I've dyed it grey, but I didn't leave the blonde in long enough, and I'm more blonde. But I was going for the scoof look, pre-scandal scoof, that is, anyway.
Say mine just comes in grey anyway. What I've got left anyway.
Yeah, well, I would say, Mickey's dyed his hair, but not on his head. He'll show that later on. It's quite the rainbow scene to be seen. So yeah. As I say, lots and lots to talk about. Big thank you to our sponsors, Northern Print Solutions, and to our partners, Patrick. I don't know. See, we've got a lot of new things here. We've still got that there. I will be refreshing this. We are refreshing things. As you can see, we've got a new intro. And still to be fully edited because we want to put the new strip in there and stuff like that. But a big thank you to Northern Print Solutions, of course, over 10 years of sponsoring of the Heed Army podcast, and Patrick confirmed their second year into the partnership. So we thank them very, very much. And we just want to continue with everything. And before we go any further, what do you think of the new strip, everybody? We'll go through the messages shortly. You can send them in as well. But there it is. There's the new home shirt available soon. Absolutely beautiful. I still would. I love it. I'd still love the half and half or 4 quarters myself, but I do love that. It is very, very nice.
Half and half would probably give us a B man, to be fair.
Yeah, but as I say, that is another stunning example. And of course, we've got Gated Central there. They've been supporting the club for quite a few years now. So what are your thoughts on that? Get that in. Of course, there's an abundance of transfers that have come in and left. We're going to talk about them all in detail. And if you've got any messages or thoughts, you want to put anyone that's arrived or left, put them up as well. We'll try and get through them all. But Mickey, the fixtures, they came out yesterday. We started home to Ebbsfleet United, and the promotion party is away to Boston United. No, in all seriousness, it's
I'd my optimism, mate. I tell you,
you've got to keep it jolly. But if you look at that first 2 months, always really, really busy months, and we'll get some of the big teams out the way. Obviously, you've got Ebbsfleet, Woking. I think they'll be a better side than what they were last year. Of
definitely.
Course. FC Halifax, we know we've got to break that hoodoo this year. Yeovil, they're making the long trip up early in the season. So for them, that's all right. Then we've got on Bank Holiday Monday, Oldham Athletic, who we've had a good few seasons against, but will that continue? They've been strengthening, and finishes off with Eastleigh at home. Obviously, then we've got the other games that are notable that everyone looks out for is Hartlepool United on Boxing Day at home and away to York City again on New Year's Day. And then the April bank holiday is Hartlepool United away. So there's some big, and also as well, Southend United at home on May the 6th. That is the end of the season, ends on a bank holiday. So there's all the fixtures. So we'll be looking forward to all of those, and of course covering all the home games for the commentary as well, and hopefully a few away games. Before we go any further forward as well, we did advertise there was going to be a show the other weekend, of course. Unfortunately, we had to cancel that. My mum's been pretty bad. I've spoken to her about this. She wanted us to talk about it. She's had bad news regarding she's got bad bed sores, and they've tunneled into the bone. And she was in hospital for a while, and they told her they can't really operate. And so she just went home, and she's on oral antibiotics. So if you could all send her a get well soon, I'd be very appreciative, because my mum, she's always supported me dream with a podcast and helped us with equipment and things on birthdays and stuff like that. So my mum's a big part of the podcast. And but
Susan, I think the world here. Take care.
Yeah, she's got a tough time ahead, but as I say, we all love her, and of course I do, it's me mum. But right, we've got loads and loads of messages, and we've got Darcy was the first one to get in. And I'll tell a lie. evening. And she's got a new kitten. Oh, she's got a kitten. So there we go. And Craig Hilton as well. He messaged last night, actually. He's put, hi, that's you okay? Tuesday night, Hebben 7-1 with a shocked face. And we've got Mason, we've got Ellabella Knits, who I think is probably my daughter looking on my wife's account. Football's back, says Sam's Football Adventures. And we've got Craig, welcome back, and lots of messages along those lines. And it's a pleasure to be back. And Boiler Sports here on a different account because I decided to stop YouTubing now. I know because you keep leaking things on Twitter. Now pack it in. Otherwise, we're going to get them swooped up by other clubs. Loose lips sink ships, young Thomas. Nathan Coulson, of course, we've got Cow Daly. Fantastic to see he's back. Got a quick question. Does Mickey like gravy?
I do like gravy, but I don't love gravy like Nathan does.
Does he love gravy? Does he?
Right. Yeah, he was on Embrace the Vision, Lee Altrinham's YouTube channel.
Right.
So the Heaven game, and he was on about gravy.
Oh, well, we're getting through all these messages. Lots of people tuning in. Thank you very much. I didn't think we'd have this many. We haven't been off for a while, but you have obviously missed the show, and we've missed you, Mr. Luke. There, we've got really liking the new background graphic. It's actually a stock one on StreamYard, but I think we'll keep it. I think it works quite nice.
I said that to see Nathan. So
yeah, we've got Colin Scott, who I hear had a shave for the Hebben game. So lovely to have Colin messaging in. Mr. Luke, I like the new I like the kit, it's quite good. And so there we go. And my daughter's put your welcome for the Galaxy light. If you look in the background, I pinched a light and I've put it up there just to give a little bit of...
also told us you've got to give her it back.
No, I'm not giving her it back. So
you have to.
Vanessa has put welcome all. Evening all, welcome back. And exciting things happening. It is. And evening, lads, how are you doing tonight? Well, we're doing all right, Gordon. Thank you very much. Still loads. Lots of people putting get well soon there. So big thank you. I'll show me mum all of these. And I'll say hopefully she'll enjoy seeing it. So look at that. All these get well soons to Susan. So thank you very much. She's now battle-axe and she's still battling on. Right. Mickey, before we go any further forward, obviously the football is back, but let's go through some of the new signings that have arrived at the football club. Start off with this man here. One second, I'll just remove that comment. Thank you very much. No, can I get to it? Where is it? There it is. See, Jamie Bramwell arrived after leaving Grimsby. Mickey, you said that he's quite the man mountain.
He is the typical proverbial brick outhouse, to say the least. And let's put it this way: if he's gonna, if I've got to say something nasty about him, I'm leaving it to you, because there's no way I'm having a gun at him.
Well, hopefully, we're not like that, but but no, lovely to see him come in. Of course, I think he's obviously Northeast native. I've been through the academy at Sunderland, I believe it was. So that's another one in there. And then of course we've got the goalkeeper that's come in, Tiernan Brooks. So he's come on from Notts County. Of course, we've had a good bit of pedigree come through to the club from Notts County in the past. Of course, Ed Francis being one of them. But say I wasn't at the game on Tuesday because obviously I've been looking after my mum. But Mickey, you said you were quite impressed. He seems to be in the mould of a gated goalkeeper.
He's very confident on the ball. Yes, it was against Hebben, and I'm not being derogatory to Hebben. It's only it's a first pre-season game, but on that evidence, Tiernan Brooks looks as comfortable on the ball as what Archie Mayer did. Which is if Tiernan Brooks obviously knew him from Notts County as well, and it's good pedigree. Jamie Bramwell didn't do a thing wrong in the game. I was really impressed with him in the second half. Just won the ball, give it the likes of Hannant and Warman, and he looked really good. And this kid, wow. He's quick. I thought he's looking at that picture. He looks Like I thought he was going to be one of these diminutive little strikers. He's far from it.
Yeah, I've seen on the highlight. He's another unit, shall we say, big lad, and hopefully be able to put himself about. Of course, in his interview when he signed, mentioned, of course, that Dejon Brown had been bigging up the club to him. Friends, of course, coming through the Derby Academy together. So yeah, we're looking forward to seeing what he can do. But talking of academies, players coming through our own again, another one to follow in the route of your Connor Pannies, Tom Whites, and Elliot Forbes, just to name a few. But Ben Williams signed his first full-time contract as well. Always lovely to see the team producing its own players.
Oh, fantastic. Like I say, you've reamed off a few there, and there's like John Mellish as well.
Yeah.
You've got there's Connor Panny, there's
even Ollie Thompson as well, that I didn't mention there. It was played on Tuesday night.
Ollie Thompson, and I think these lads will come into the pre-season, get the games. Now, I honestly think they'll go on loan and hopefully come back much better players. I just wish Ben Williams all the best with the rest of the lads. It's absolutely amazing as a fan to see one of your own come through the ranks, so to speak. And I wish him all the best. It pleases me more than signing a player, really, to see one of the young lads get like uprated to the first team. And I just wish nothing but the best of Ben Williams. I hope it really works for the lad.
Yeah. Well, we've got a little update on Bramwell. He came from the Newcastle Academy. That's right. I remember in his interview, he spoke that he obviously knew Louis' story, and that's how the move came. So, just 1 second ago, but to more, because obviously there is another player as well, Will McGowan, of course. He was announced on Tuesday night, and then gets 40 minutes in the second half and scores an impressive hat-trick and sets a goal up. Not a bad way to introduce yourself after coming from the Great Unwashed.
Definitely.
Only joking, but no, obviously I heard things about him over the previous seasons, and didn't know that much about him. I knew that he was, a capable player. Of course, we've got to put things into perspective. It was Hebben, but Hebben are a side that have improved. It's a better friendly than what it was 4 years ago. And you've got to look at that and go, well, the lads come in, and obviously he likes the style of play because he's found himself in goal-scoring positions.
Anyone who was there was a fair few who will be on here who at the friendly on Tuesday night. The first half was a mixture of first-team players, trialists, young lads, and we're still 2-1 up. And I thought we did well as well. I think Hebben had a few shots, but scored from a corner. We deservedly were 2-1 up at half-time, and then it was a real
We'll go into the highlights of that shortly, but obviously another signing as well. John Fenton has come in. You said you were quite impressed with him as well.
I was. He was tidy on the ball, very tidy, in fact. I was really impressed with a lot of the young lads that were on there. There was another one lad, Carl Liam, who was playing, I think it was right back, and he never put a foot wrong neither. But it was really quite impressive, but you can't go overboard.
Mm-hmm.
And like I will say again, not being derogatory to Hebben, we're going to face bigger games than Hebben.
Oh yes, without a doubt. I mean, obviously that's why we've got the likes of Sunderland and Middlesbrough. They'll be good tests and good gauges to see how players are on and around the ball with better players. But look, we've got them players who come in. We've still got other players to talk about.
Did you expect to have a Fenton and a Kenton in the same team?
Certainly didn't, and it doesn't make life good for a dyslexic commentator either. Oh God, let's hope. Thank God we're not playing Long Benton. Right. Let's have a look at the highlights, because obviously down there on Tuesday night, obviously a bit of a horrible day, but it seemed to clear up a little bit for the match.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, Hebben had said they had no fears of the game all day. it was heavy in the morning, but then it was just like when that drizzle. I mean, the Peter Kay, it's that fine drizzle that gets you wet in it. So,
well, Aidan Rutledge, of course, he's had time to develop on loan. So this is going to be his pre-season to prove himself if he wants to be in the mix to start in the National League.
Definitely, it's kind of a big season for Aidan. You know, he's been on loan last season. He scored all them goals from Berkeley the year before. And there'd be no one happier than us lot to see him force his way into the team. And good luck to the lad.
Well, that man Tom Allen here with a
goal
similar to the flick that he did at Wembley to pull the ball back across.
Well, I did see to him at the friendly game. It was someone that said to him it was a great layover for Dejan. I says he tried to trap it, and Tom Allen says I tried to shoot.
Well, you know, there's Kane Adam, obviously, himself into the mix there. It's a lovely goal there from Will McGowan, and tell you what, you know, size doesn't matter.
Very little backlift if you look, Davey. Watch.
Yeah, but when you can hit a ball like that, size doesn't matter. Of course, he does look very small on the pitch, but so is Lionel Messi. But no,
you made it be very much like AC Adam Campbell.
Yeah, well, look at that. I mean, he made the space for himself there. 2 touches on the edge of the box when he's running with it, and just composed, took his time, didn't snatch at it. So here you go. Look, there you go. 1, 2,
and then fired it in the top corner. Now,
beautiful. So it is. It's nice to see players come in, hit the ground running. Of course, not going to get too carried away because you know it is Hebben, and that's not disrespecting Hebben, but it's a first pre-season game. But if you start that well, it bodes well.
Oh, it bodes well. I mean, what's he going to be like when he gets to full-time training?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Yeah, we've seen the developments that come from Kane Adam, and I'm still expecting more developments from that young man because his pace and positioning, I think, can only get better with age. So, in experience at the level, same will be for Will McGowan as well. But Oseni, here he is. Nice finish, calm, put it in. As I say, chalk and cheese height-wise there between them. But say another exciting young prospect because obviously we have lost Strike Force, which we'll go into once we finish watching the highlights here. But yeah,
the pace there.
Yeah, and of course we've seen the exploits of Luke Hannon before, and calm as you like, slots it home 7-1. But no, a good evening's run out. Of course, it's just the first pre-season friendly. But not a bad way to start. Of course, the next pre-season friendly, if you are just watching this, is going to be Sunderland. 5 o'clock kickoff, of course, at Gateshead International Stadium. Get down there. That's the best place to see it. Witness these players in the flesh. But for those that may be on holiday or at work, we are providing full match commentary for that one. Right, I'll just go through some of these messages that we were putting up while we were talking that. We've got Mike Cowes, but we'd love to see Rutledge break through this season. Seems able to score all kinds of goals. Well, he's a big physical lad, so hopefully we'll be able to see that. We've got Chris the Butcher. As a Oldham fan, I think he will win the league this season. Well, didn't get ahead of yourselves, however, man. But it'd be nice, wouldn't it? We're going to be competitive. I think we're going to be competitive, but then again, we need to strengthen up top still, you know. But we'll talk about that. We've got seen clips of McGowan of the Village of the Damned. He's a tidy player. Yeah, he was playing for the Village of the Damned. We've got
like you said, Davey. I haven't taken a great interest in Will McGowan. It's not because he played for Blythe. It's not because he played for South Shield. I'm pretty single-minded. I watch some Newcastle games, a lot of Gateshead games, and I watch a lot of England games.
Yeah.
So Will McGowan hasn't really been on my radar until I'd heard rumours that he could be signing.
But what we've seen so far is quite exciting, isn't it? And as you say, once he gets into full-time training, that'll be...
My eyes opened wide on Tuesday night to Will McGowan. Well, very much so.
I haven't been able to make new adverts yet, so I'm going to play one of the old ones. There will be new ones, don't worry. We've got the new titles, of course, if you didn't see them at the beginning of the show. But these are our socials. Please like and subscribe. The Heat Army podcast needs your help. No, we don't need money. All we need is you to do one simple thing. It'll take less than a second. If you could hit that like button, the subscribe button, and share whatever post that we put up regarding Gator Football Club, it'll go a long way in helping the show build and ultimately helping us push the club to the moon. Well, we'll have to find out where I can lose a drone this year. Right. Going forward here.
Well, let me fly it. I'll lose it anywhere you want.
Yeah, we'll lose it straight away. Of course, hit that subscribe button. After Wembley, we did hit the 1,000 subscriber, which is absolutely fantastic, and still want to spread the word and get more people doing so. Hit that subscribe button. Right, going forward, 2 bits of news with one photo here. Of course, there was the announcement of Rob and Louis with the permanent job of player assistant, and of course, as manager for Rob. Say it's a long time coming, of course, achieved a lot, and they've got heavy plans for the future, as we're starting to see implemented in the transfer window. Before we go any further forward, though, Carl Magny has left for pastures new. He has got the opportunity to go down to MK Dons and join the coaching staff there. Of course, we know who that is, with Mike and Busted and Chris. We wish Carl all the best. As I say, we've over 10 years we've had him on the podcast in lots of different guises as a whippersnapper player. Just after his release the first time from the club, when he came back, when he became a player coach, and then as a coach, we've had him on. Carl is a lovely lad, gated through and through, gated lad, of course, and we wish him all the best in his coaching career, because what he's done at Gateshead and what he's managed to end his career, so to speak, on the pitch with a league title, and then going forward to his last appearance for the club being at Wembley, albeit the losing final, and then help and guide the club to an FA Trophy final. I think Carl Magny deserves a lot of love, and as I say, I've got nothing but
I can only echo them sentiments, Davey. For me, watching Mags from the touchline, the back end of last season to the finish of the season, the lad looks as if he could be a manager one day.
Yeah,
I think he's got the perfect person to learn under.
Yeah,
and Mike and Busted, Busted's made that transition to assistant manager, and I've got nothing but total respect for Mags. I wish him well. I really do wish him well.
Yeah, it's just a fantastic servant to the club. But we talk about the current servants. Of course, you look there. There's a photo. There is silverware in the hand. The first manager to do it.
Stop smiling. I can't stop smiling about it. I don't know any gated for. I mean,
and then
it's an absolute nightmare. It was sickening to the point I nearly threw up when we won.
Yeah, it was.
Every time I look at that and we'll pick up that trophy, was marvelous.
Yeah, I still can't believe it. It's amazing what a journey. But of course, the summer brought exits and people coming, but it also kept people at the club. And as we go forward here, of course, we had the announcement of 3 players in one day. There was a lot of talk of, I'll go on to this man first, actually, of Kenton Richardson going on to play in the Football League. A lot of interest, a lot of Twitter activity. Thomas O'Boyle. People saying that he's going elsewhere. For him to stay at the club and commit himself for another 2 years shows that they see something exciting in the club. great to have Kenton back. We know what he's all about. This man as well was the one that, I mean, I was buzzing, as well as Tinks as well, staying as, it was another one there he is. Look at that. Tom Cruise with a beard.
I have to say this before we go any further. When Tinks first signed, and I was sitting on the settee, and I had Trina and my daughter Tony here, and they were like looking at me as if with a silly smile on my face, and that was the day Tinks came back to Gateshead.
Yeah.
When he signed that new contract, I had exactly the same silly grin on my face. No, same with Kenton, same with Larry. I am absolutely delighted all three of them are staying. Larry
Grayson, what you like. That's one for the kids. Do a Google search. No, having Tings come back as and then you look at that, and then you add the players that we've brought into defense as well to complement them. That back five, as it were, is looking very, very strong, and it has depth as well, and that's what it is. But just before we go any further forward, I wonder if Joe Grayson's watching, or even his lovely mum, because it's bugged us ever since we were at Box Park. I swore in front of his mum, and I cannot get over it. So I want to apologise to Mrs. Grayson, because I wasn't swearing at her. I was wrongly using a swear word to congratulate someone how well they played that season. So Mrs. Grayson, I'm sorry, I'm really not that type of boy.
Hey, see, me and Trina are very pally with his dad and his granddad, and we didn't do anything like that.
Well, that's why I've apologised, isn't it? You see, I'm a nice lad.
Well, you shouldn't have done it in the first place.
Well, exactly. I've apologised. But obviously, there's gorgeous Kenton, and great to have him signed on as well. And as I say, with Luke Hannant as well, signed another contract to stay with the club. Tom Allen. We'll go through the squad in a later podcast, but it's looking good, Mickey.
It is.
It's really nice.
To me, I mean, I'm not the manager, and a left back, a proper left back, would be on my agenda. But when we haven't got a left back, how often am I screaming for a left back? It seems to be every bloody pre-season.
It's one of those things, isn't it? A left back, but obviously the lads, of course, back in training, have had the first pre-season game. But to see the players there being put through the paces, and I think they will have done the beep test as well.
I tell you what, that's impressive. Just hovering like that, I think that's great.
I think that's always been lacking from Gateshead, a player that can levitate. No, we've got it. I think the world's were oyster. I mean, we do that on corners, just wait and then jump.
If we do that on corners, we might actually look dangerous on them.
Yeah, and of course, there they are on the beach as well, going through a bit of classic summer training here in the northeast, down there on the beach. But yeah, it's great to see the smiles on the faces already. Obviously, they haven't been put through the beep test at this point, because the smiles wouldn't be there, you would imagine, when they put through that. But yeah, it's all looking very.
I've seen them calming down after Hebben. And they were doing a lot of running, and whoever the goalkeeper was in the second half, his legs had nearly fell off.
Oh,
and I say to them, goalkeepers and running are not a happy mix. Yeah. In pre-season, goalkeepers are now nigh and always near the back.
Well, we've got a cheeky so-and-so. Of course, those that listen to the commentary will know that me and Mark have a bit of banter when we're talking. And on one of them, the ball spun off, and I tried to make a cricket analogy. I know nought about cricket, and I said it was like a West Indian spin bowler. And Neil Robinson, of course, who works at Lords, has put sorry and late checking in. We've got the West Indies at Lords. They've brought on a decent spin bowler. Seriously.
Oh, well.
So there you go. So I didn't know what I was talking about. And we've got people for all the best to Mags. Got a couple of messages here. What's going on with the stadium? That's from Gordon Manning. And there's another one a little bit higher up. I can't find it. It says, what's going on? Well, reading between the lines, I did actually have someone sent me a clipping saying about the EFL meeting. And from what I've heard and what read between the lines from statements that's been put out from the club, that the EFL are they were going to have a vote to change the rules to be a 5-year tenancy to be accepted into the Football League. I heard that at Celtic Manor at the National League meeting. They have a 2-hour presentation, and a good 45 minutes was on Gateshead alone and them apologising in public for what had happened to Gateshead, and stating the timeline that obviously the club didn't know anything about not playing until the Sunday morning. So it's all there now. It's out in the ether, but it does look as if we are good to go. And of course, looking at the players we're signing, the players that have signed back on, that would be a statement that the club have said that as well to the players, because they wouldn't jump back on if that wasn't the case and sign lengthy contracts. So hopefully,
and we want to put the wrong right.
Yes,
in the conversations they've been having with Jack.
Definitely. We got a lovely message here from Di Evans. Evening, gents. Good to be back. Forever a Gateshead fan now. Top 2 this season. Well, we love the Evans family, and I've seen they put a post up on the Hidari forum, the group on Facebook, saying that how much they loved it and stuff, and they put up the picture where they had the Welsh Heed Army flag in the background of the celebrations at Wembley. And that's what it means. And if there's any new players here, or someone's family of a player that's just signed, look, we're going to look after your boys when they're up here, and bring them into our family. That's what it's all about. And I'm sure that Evans and other people will testify to that it is a family up here, and we want to keep us all, keep everyone together. That's what it's all about. Make everyone feel.
I had the pleasure of meeting Di and Paula at Wembley, and the whole coach load of them, and they were all coming over and all spoke at once. And you got someone who's broad Geordie, and someone who's broad Welsh. All talking. I had to go, whoa.
They're probably saying the same to you.
Family, what a family! And Kieran Evans signed a new contract. Absolutely delighted for the lad. I hope he goes on to bigger and better things, and I'm delighted for him.
I hope he can kick on. Talking about players kicking on, we've had some players leave, of course, and they've went on into the Football League. First, start off with this man. You will not meet a nicer man inside football. I know that's thrown about. An absolute gent, a role model. He's a hero to 2 little girls that we know. Tabby and Tabitha and Poppy. Obviously devastated that he left. But he came in an unknown quantity, so to speak, set a statement out with goals, continued that the next season, and leaves with a bit of silverware, to his name at the club. And he goes into the Football League, and I just want to say thank you, Marcus. Absolute, he scored goals for fun when he was in the mood, and when he was getting the service, and forever thankful he's played a massive part in Gateshead's history.
I know he split fans. I know he did. I personally like the guy as a footballer, and I absolutely love him as a person. I've had the fortune to meet Marcus a few times, spoke to his girlfriend Daisy as well, and you couldn't meet his family at Wembley. Couldn't meet a nicer bunch. And Marcus, I hope you can go on and do great things for Bromley. I wish you all the best. Like you say, I can only reiterate what you say. He is the nicest man you'll ever meet.
He certainly is. And another player that's went on to pastures new, of course, he's went up two levels. In League One with Exeter is Ed Francis, the non-league Perlo. He's talking about families, got to speak to his family, and his brother's a spitting image of him, just a taller version.
All right.
Park, I got to speak to him, and he was joking on. He said he's seen us more than what he's seen his brother last season. Obviously, watching the podcast.
He couldn't have been that impressed.
No, he couldn't have been. But no, another lovely lad, quiet, unassuming. No grandeur to him, or cockiness or anything. Not that we have players like that. But he would go out there, do his business. His passes were sublime. His play, his vision, everything. But off the pitch, another gent. And someone that took the risk to come to Gateshead. He left a Football League club to come to Gateshead permanently last season, and that risk has paid off with silverware. Of course, Wembley appearance, it should have been 2. We all know that, but we can't dwell. And well, the lad leaves a legend, and he's earned his move into the Football League.
Oh, there's not one of us would want to stand in Ed Francis's way. The fact that he's going to a League One club speaks volumes for the lad himself.
Mm-hmm.
I think, along with Greg Ollie, Ed Francis is up there with one of the top 3 midfielders I've seen at this football club, and that includes Paul Proudlock. Yeah. And that is a really, really high praise indeed for me, because Paul Proudlock and Derek Bell are my 2 favourite ever Heat players, and him and Ollie have come very, very close to them too, for me.
He's, as I say, he's just a lovely lad, and that's what Gateshead can now do to players that are maybe on the fringes of a football league side, or the fringes of a bigger national league side, and they're not getting the chance. Well, if Gateshead offer them the chance, there is what can happen, not just with Marcus, with even the loan players that have come in. Look at the players that are all moving on to higher and better things, and as I say, we hope that Evans and Co and Dejon Brown, of course, hope he gets a chance in the
Derby side.
In the Derby side, if not in the Football League on loan, because that young man really has the world at his feet. To mention a couple others, Jordan Hunter as well, who has moved on to pastures new. He has moved over to Chester, of course, close to where he's from as a child. It's not too far away from the Blackpool Garstang area, and his family were lovely as well. And we always thank everyone that interacts, but it's special when the families get involved, because that makes it feel that they're happy with the young lad here, and that the player's happy here as well. So that's and also I think the last one that comes to mind, to Lyra Kasani. He's moved right down the country, a big long move all the way down to Torquay United. So they're on the rebuilding process, of course, and I'm sure he will do very well down there at that level. And
he'd be absolutely, if he starts well for Torquay, they'll absolutely love him down there. They'll absolutely love the kid.
He's hardworking. He'll definitely do the business down there. Neil Robinson is put in 41 years of sport in Gateshead. I can't think of a better midfielder I've seen than Ed Francis. Very high praise. He's up there. He's up there.
Derek could do the lot. He could tackle, he could pass, he could score.
Yeah, it's
well, he was just quality. He was quality proud. And like I say, I'm putting Ed Francis and Greg Ollie in the same bracket.
Yeah, it's definitely out. Oh Christ, we're 40 minutes through. It's flew by already so far. We're just going to play another little advert. Of course, I know I haven't made new ones yet. I've explained why earlier in the podcast. But we'll be back very shortly after this, and we'll continue with all the other things. Anything you want to talk about as well, please do send them in. I'll be back in a second. And just before we go any further forward, once again, a big thank you to our sponsors, Northern Print Solutions, of course, over 10 years of helping us broadcast on various different media's outputs, the way we did it with Spreaker, and now, of course, with we do it through, I forgot the word, through StreamYard, and it goes out in all different places. So a big thank you to everybody. Saying, get it out.
And send me the link every week, Lee.
We do, I know, but we've got here, we've got another player that left, and I did forget about this one. Conor McBride leaving Gateshead to join Rochdale. Forgot to mention that. Yeah, that was one of the first ones, wasn't it? And good luck to Conor McBride. He started off like house on fire, and then
Trailers 21.
Trailers 21. Where are you? He didn't keep the momentum up throughout the season, did he? When he got into the side, didn't capitalize on it. And wish him well. I mean, he's got a good move there, big club.
Nice as well.
Yeah,
very nice.
See what he can do there. And of course, another player that we missed here. When you think Monty will be back, well, I've got a lot of love for Monty. Of course, the Wembley heroics and getting us there the last time and things like that. And even his first stint, I loved him off his first stint when he came to the club. Just an absolute gent.
Who doesn't like Monty?
Yeah, and I just wish him all the best wherever he does end up.
Wherever he rocks up, I will always shake Monty's hand. As long as I live, I will always shake Monty's hand.
Yeah, and of course as well, we got another couple of players that have left. Joe Cook went to Worthing. Of course, we only seen Joe Cook once, and he came in as part to bolster the squad at the end of the season. And Lewis Knight leaves also as well. So yeah, it's like that. Also as well, we may as well talk about this. We've got obviously Macaulay Langstaff has moved on to Millwall for a fee rumored to be around the 800,000 mark with add-ons as well. The lad has had an astronomical rise. I think I've said it on here. At the time when we signed him back, I was a little bit trying to think of the word uninspired. Yeah, uninspired. He hadn't set the world alight at York. He was, when he was at the club the last time, he was a promising prospect, but he went to York and we never seen any development. But then he came back, got his head down, and became the monster that he is now. And he's just as all right there, I can see you. He's just as humble as he was when he was with us, even at Notts County, with all the attention that he had. And now he's at Millwall, and I'm sure he'll continue to keep working hard and grinding. And what an amazing thing!
Be the new Vardy.
He could well be. I mean, someone's got here, Johnny Gray put championship golden boot for Macca next season. Could you imagine? The world's his oyster. If he keeps working hard at it, it'll be absolutely fantastic. So it's
the one thing Millwall fans insist, if you don't graft, they can let you off with many things, but if you don't graft, you will get sounded out at Millwall.
Yeah. Well, I think you'll. I mean,
graft.
I mean, they're the team that's put nailed the colours to the mast. They've wanted them for a while. There was a lot of Swansea talk, wasn't there?
Yeah, he was going to Peterborough, Wrexham.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk, but Millwall have put the money where their mouth is. They've committed to him. They want him, and they're going to, they've invested in him, and I'm sure he'll give a lot more of that. Give everything to them.
He's a striker as well, isn't he?
Yeah, Harris was obviously in that league last year as well, managing, so he knows all about him. And it's one of them transfers where it could be absolutely invaluable to Millwall to add that amount of goals. We've got here, of course, another player that moved in the summer. He's went back there, but permanently this time. Scott Barrow has signed for Darlington permanently. And we'll have to, see how he does there. I'm sure he'll do very well. He did well at the end of the season on loan from York, keeping them up when a lot of people thought they weren't.
Nice, Scotty.
Yeah, nobody would say Neil Aspin was the best manager we've ever had, but one did say once that Langstaff was the most natural goal scorer he ever worked with. Well, yeah, you can't argue with them that sentiment, can you?
Aspin as a manager, his tactics were awful. It seemed to be long, but he said that he didn't want them to play like that. But I mean, Neil Aspin's eye for a player was second to none. Oh, absolutely second to none.
I mean, every player he brought to Gateshead nearly had value or has went on to a higher level. Just great eye for a player. Right, just going through. Is there anything else anyone wants to talk about? Please do send in your messages. We'll get onto it. Just having a little look through here as well, see if there's any players that I missed that we haven't talked about. If I have, please do send in those messages, and also hit that subscribe button as well. Help us reach more people. Pre-season as well, Mickey. We've got a few games. Of course, we haven't been on since the pre-season games were announced. I'll just get them all up in order. And we should be able to
no Shields Blythe.
And yes, Yeah, well, 1 second. I will just get it up here and get the fixtures properly in front of us. So, first team. So, view full list of fixtures. Okay, so it does. This is the running order of our pre-season. We play Sunderland at home on Saturday. Then we are away to North Shields on Thursday. The following night on Friday, we play away to Blythe Spartans. So it would be interesting to see which two squads are going to be in that. And the next official friendly that is down is Gateshead at home to Middlesbrough. And that is on Wednesday, the 24th of July. Of course, there's been a rumoured behind closed doors friendly online. But that we don't know if that has been confirmed or not. Paul Evans has sent us a message to put, evening, gents, all the best for the season. We'll continue to watch the games and follow Gateshead this season. Fantastic. That's what it's all about.
Our forest green's quite close to the Evans family in Stroud.
No, yeah, they'll get along to that one. They've still got the flag and put it to good use and get along to the game. And who knows, we might pull out Cardiff in the FA Cup if we're fortunate to get through. We've got here, let's talk about Brad Nichols. No, we're not talking about that. This is always a naughty person sending in things. I don't know anything about that. Right, best not to go on hearsay. We've got Sean Parry has got just like when Crosby was we had Crosby as manager. Yeah, I think he was just too nice. Sometimes managers are just too nice. And they don't. I think some players just don't pay attention. But
I like Malcolm. I like the sister as well, Trish.
Mm-hmm.
Two of them together as funny as out.
Oh yeah, absolutely fantastic. Right, just having a little look through. Of course, we didn't mention the elephant in the room. Steely isn't here because he's travelling home via train, and he's had an absolute nightmare because the Scottish trains are on strike. He had a nightmare getting back up to Scotland when his car broke, when the spring snapped in the front left wheel. So he's had a bit of a nightmare, and he's just having absolute.
Come on, mention the rest of it.
Well,
where he had to sleep.
Oh, and then he had to sleep on a boatman's settee that was going to, because he had missed his boat to get onto the island. So yeah, it's you couldn't.
Boatman had never had a cabin boy for years.
Wow. There's the rumor he looked for the golden rivet out the window. For the naval among us, you'll appreciate that joke. Right, we've got best of luck to Steely, and Steely is having the best luck possible. He is. He's on a train now, possibly watching. So hopefully he gets home right time. It's going to be a big season for Kedwin Scott. Now, Maka has left. Hope he does well. I'm sure he will. Of course, he had a torrid time with injuries from the back end of the season before. Will Johnny be doing a prediction league this season? We'll have to find out. Johnny, are you going to do the prediction league? And we'll see. We're going to endeavour to try and get some of the new players on. We're going to reach out to the club. I'll speak to someone on Saturday and see who we can get on and welcome these new players to the club. The only way the Heat Army podcast can. And we'll have a little bit of crack with them, find out how they are, what makes them tick, and if they think it's cold when they've come up to Gateshead, because that's always one of the things.
Jones,
yeah,
the Scouser who lived in Barnsley, and he said, "What's the difference coming here?" And he went, "The weather." Oh, it wasn't Andre Jones. It was he was the model.
Yeah, I know which one. But can you remember when I asked Archie Mayer if it was cool? Did you notice the cold? And then I forgot he's from Scotland, right higher up. There you go. That's how you do it. Make a complete mistake. Massive viewing figures tonight there. Thank you very much to everyone that's joined us. If you are watching on Twitter, please migrate over to YouTube and send us a message that way, because we don't get the messages through from Twitter. So if you're still watching on there, please do send a message over and we'll get it onto on the YouTube and bring it up like we have here. And we've got Johnny has put, if people want it, of course I'll do it. And that's about the prediction league as well. So yeah. And also, say if we get someone on, we'll wonder who's taking the bins out from the new lads at the
that'll be the first question on everyone's lips.
Yeah, the club where the club lads are staying, so we'll find out. But yeah, it's been a summer where there's been a lot of speculation and people getting worried online and Twitter. That's only human nature. There's also been a little bit of undue abuse as well to people within the club, which
definitely
I think needs to be addressed as well. There's a lot of things that have been going on behind the scenes. The club has just been trying to essentially keep the club going as well. There isn't any income coming in the summer. The transfers that have went out will help keep the club running pay off the debts of the summer, because there's still bills to be paid and things like that. And of course, when you've got Macaulay Langstaff money and stuff like that, it will go into the pot for the season to help make things run a bit easier. And I've seen quite a few things online where targeted tweets and things like that have went out. And I think people need to look at the bigger picture, because these people aren't millionaires. They're businessmen that are prepared to put their money in and not see it come back. Astronomical amounts of money, when it's all put together to make a season run. The Macaulay Langstaff money is good money. It is reported about £140,000, I think, is coming into the club. But that'll see the club go forward. Allegedly, that would see the club go forward for maybe 2.5 months with the wage bill. So put that into perspective, you know what I mean? And then that's not if you're not doing a load of traveling that month. So, it's good money, but the club still has to battle to get money. And that's why we need as many people getting there on a match day, getting behind the lads, tell them we're friends, because obviously we won the FA trophy. We need to build on that. This is the prime time to get new fans along and get people addicted, like all of these people that are messaging in now. St. Geordie has also sent a message here. Southend in trouble again. The last time I looked, it looked like there was a resolution near, but nothing's actually happened yet. And it's an awful thing to say, but I wish the National League would act, because they acted very fast with us. Dare I say, if they weren't a team with a bigger reputation and a TV deal to maintain and a streaming service to maintain, I think they might have been out the league if they had been.
That'd have been anywhere north of Birmingham. I think they might have been gone by now. And I don't say that because I want Southend relegated, because what their fans are going through is absolute hell. And that owner wants to give himself a bloody good shake.
He certainly does. It's but you can see why the league are maybe holding on before issuing punishments or expelling them from the league or whatever.
Because anyone north of Birmingham in that situation, I think, would have been gone.
But as I say, there is they'll want Southend as a draw for TV games and things like that. Of course, the league has to make money itself to maintain itself. So there's two sides to it. But yeah, I would like to have seen a little bit more action from the National League myself.
But at the end of the day, I mean, I don't know why the diet, take points off them, but issuing fines and things like that, if you've got any money altogether, what good is that?
It's not fines, but I think that we were quickly thrown out after the fact. National League is struggling at the moment because the focus is on the Premier League. Let's get the National League big and get behind the lads. I mean, and then National League big. It's at the end of football. In the end, it's football. Yeah, it is, but there's always going to be lots of different moving parts to it all, isn't there? And but the basic thing is, and I think what everyone wants is Southend to survive, because I
wouldn't wish any ill on them at all, but my feeling is if that had been north of Birmingham, they would have been even harsher with.
Neil Robinson had a chat with a couple of Southend fans at Lord's yesterday. Good people, and hopefully that the ownership situation will be sorted soon. Yeah, without a doubt. And we've had Chris Phillips on, who's the main reporter. He's basically Southend's Mark Carruthers, but not as good as Mark Carruthers. I spoke to him at Wembley, and even he said if it hadn't been the name of Southend, that they probably would have been kicked out of the league by now. But he's battling. He's big Southend fan, putting a lot, and he's struggling. Not he's even posted about it that his mental health has took a kicking through it all, and then he's having to stay as a reporter through it. He can't just, take a week off and switch off. So yeah, for the people like that, the real football fans, that'll be there.
Ron Martin is just making himself public enemy number one in Southend.
He just doesn't seem to care, does he? But Mason, did anyone see Kings Lynn kicking off with Widderton on Twitter a few weeks ago? The Kings Lynn owner is taking Widderton court in September. Oh, don't know. I didn't know anything about that. But let's hope it doesn't rain on the way to the court.
Well, let's put it this way. That's a meeting of two arrogant pricks together, really, isn't it?
Allegedly.
Well,
the words of Mickey Paris, not the Heat Army podcast. Right. So we've got 5 minutes left. If you've got anything you want to get in, do send it. But a big thank you. It's lovely to be back, essentially, isn't it, Mickey?
Yeah, the pre-season training is going well forward, Davey.
Yeah, it is. This is us trying to get match fit. Try and lose another £30 before the start of the season. So that I'll do that in the bookies. So I'll be. So, also as well, one thing I forgot to say is the new competition, ladies and gentlemen, that has been ushered in this season, which is quite ironic that because at the back end of last season, we were told that teams are playing too many games and can't play replays in mid-November and December.
Oh, yes.
And then all of a sudden, those FA Cup replays, which are a lifeblood to the early rounds of the cup for giant killing and things like that. We've now found out that the National League top 16 sides from last season will be competing against the under 21 Premier League sides in a competition. So if it is regionalised, I can see it being half interesting. But to me, it seems it was a way to try and keep National League TV relevant, if you're asking me, by bringing in a
way of bribing the National League. Well, kicking off about not having replays.
Well, I don't know. I think it was all personally, allegedly, I would say in my optimistic way, I think that this was always the plan. I think the National League would probably be very happy that this has happened because they've lost the Wrexhams, they've lost the Chesterfields, they've lost the Notts County. So National League TV now, I would surmise, wouldn't make as much money as it would have done when the big boys were in town. Now, all of a sudden, there is another competition that does have a following of Premier League fans that might be interested to see the next generation, therefore wanting to purchase the National League TV to watch these games. But if it's a success and the clubs generate more money from it, okay, fantastic. If the final is televised on BT Sport, that okay.
Where is the final?
I don't know. I haven't seen anything of that. But then again, it could be the start of a League Cup for us now. There used to be the Spalding.
Just what we need.
Yeah, there used to be a Spalding Cup. So
the Bob Hood Trophy and what a load of crap. Honest, it's a load of crap, mate. And
yeah, apparently we've got a smile because Tony's taking a screenshot.
All right, it's a bear.
So we smiled.
We've both got a smile.
Yeah, we've got a smile. So not bothering going to see these games, only League, FA Trophy, FA Cup games. Look, who's to say they're not going to be entertaining? Because if these under 21 games, if there might be some Premier League players playing them because they might need match fitness and things like that. So it might add something to it. I don't know. I don't want to completely, poo-poo the competition, but the cynic in me says that it's there as a moneymaker more than a thing that would develop or help clubs.
I just can't see it. I just cannot see. Yeah, I can imagine Man City reserves versus, well, it's all at home, innit? So Newcastle reserves against Gateshead at the stadium, or Man City reserves versus Oldham. Man United.
Yeah, you can see the regional appeal, but there'll be some clubs that aren't going to fall into that regional bracket with a big club, you know. So you're telling me that if
Chelsea got the Forest Green,
yeah, exactly. Or I mean, but we'll see what happens. I mean, it could be an entertaining competition, you know. So there we go.
We'll have to suck it and see, so to speak.
Tony, you bloody silly bugger, just paid $1.99 to give a message here, you daft son. You don't pay it to give us messages, right? Silly sausage.
Give her that now.
Apparently, at least it wasn't raining at Lord's, Neil, of course. We still, Neil, well, I did put this message, but didn't read it, where I met lots of National League fans at Lord's, chatted with an Aldershot fan today, and he was outraged on our behalf about the playoff situation. Yeah, and we've been told to shush by Tony. Unless people want to start sending in like £1,000 messages that we
a nice holiday fund would be good, wouldn't it?
You know what? If we can raise 30 grand an episode, we'll continue doing the podcast. Instead of it costing us to do it. No, but also as well, when are we going to do our show from Lords? I'm sure that can be in there. Could you imagine that? We'll go down and broadcast live from Lords and hopefully see in a West Indian spin bowler in the flesh. We've got here, surely the National League clubs will be rotating squads, second strings for this competition. Can't see it being competitive for the big boys. I don't know. I don't know what the prize money's like or things like that. So
I'll be surprised if anybody's our 21 from the clubs. That will be
seven clubs is allowed in this competition as next season as well. So yeah, we can have a bigger sub bench. So it'll be interesting to see how many clubs take full.
Does that mean we can have 5? We can bring 5 substitutes on this season for us?
Possibly. We'll have to look into that. But it'd be interesting to see how many clubs do have the full quota of 7, because obviously it's a cost, and things like that. But we'll see. And we've got there, get Davey a new drone fund. Well, I haven't crashed this one yet, so it's all right. Michael will need to bring back his OnlyPans page. Yeah, well, we can talk about a live stream from Lords. That would be epic, wouldn't it? We could tie it in with a away game down south. That would be pretty nifty. Friday night.
I would be in my element in the long room at Lords.
Could you imagine doing a Friday night podcast from Lords before we play like Walk Away or something like that?
Because that just makes me moist.
Oh, what a beautiful word. We don't use that enough on the Heat Army podcast. Moist. Might have a goalkeeper on the bench next season. Who knows? Well, we've run over.
Yeah, a goalkeeper on the bench.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be quite something, isn't it? This season coming. But everybody, thank you very much. That's the first show back. Hopefully next week we'll have Mr. Steele back with us. We'll have another game to talk about, the Sunderland game, and 2 games to preview as well. So hopefully we can Nathan Coulson's put save the moist for the OnlyPans, lads.
Gravy.
Yeah, or gravy. Oh, moist gravy. You can't get any better than that, can you? There we go. Well, right. That is the end of the show. Big thank you. Hopefully we'll have Steely back next week. We've got lots to talk about. Who knows? There might be new arrivals as well. It is pre-season after all. And we'll have the Sunderland game. We've got the North Shields game to preview. Also,
the North Shields game will be on the Thursday, by the way. So you're going to have to.
Well, I might have to adjust our days.
Sunday.
Yeah, I may have to do a Sunday. That would cover all the games, wouldn't it? We'll see. We'll keep posted on that. And apparently we've got Night All from Trina, and Thomas Boyle's going 3-1 on Saturday. He's heard that as a leak, and you heard it here first. Right, on that note, we'll get off and say a big thank you to everyone. Remember, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. And hey, the football's back.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.